Hi, it's Gwyn and welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm going to review the Power to the People 9 CD and 3 Blu-ray box set. Firstly, let me address the elephant in the room, the Woman Is song, and its omission, which renders that completist urge in me and all other collectors, I guess, with a hollow feeling deep inside. Don't we aspire to have everything? And the Power to the People box set gives us so much, but significantly removes a song which would normally appear multiple times in this set. The song in question is still available, however, in multiple original formats, but it has now been airbrushed from the Lennon portfolio. But if you haven't got it, how about on here? Or on here? And if you want the live version, it's still available on this. The controversial nature of the song was intentionally provocative on release in 1972 to emphasise the disparity between the sexes. Today, it's still a great song, but wrapped in an offensive cloak that renders it now invisible. So let's concentrate on what is in this box set, on the 9 CDs and 3 Blu-rays, a whole heap of music. Because after all, it's all about the music. Disc 1, well, it's a hybrid representation of the one-to-one concert at Madison Square Garden by John and Yoko. The performance sounds clear and energised, and the support by the often maligned Elephant's Memory Band is solid and complimentary, and particular by Wayne Tex Gabriel, who plays some superb guitar parts. John's vocals are sublime and a deserved shout out too for Yoko and her vocals, particularly on the track Move On Fast, which is great. Instant Karma with its choir backing is a truly fabulous rendition of a classic song, and Come Together is clearly an audience favourite, as you'd expect. The rendition of Imagine is beautifully sung, but personally, I'm not a great fan of the electric piano, which oversimplifies the arrangement. I love the Elephant Memory Band's groove to Open Your Box more than I love the vocal, to be honest, but the insertion of the Yoko numbers, which are often faster pace, offer a balanced counterpoint to some of John's slower songs. Cold Turkey is a tour de force from the start and is a show highlight. As the show approaches the climax, John launches into a rocking version of Hound Dog, and he is clearly in his happy space. Now, I would rather not have had Yoko's vocal interventions on this track, but the guitar and sax complement the song fantastically. The encore, Law and Order, which Yoko reads over another great Elephant Memory groove and hauntingly declares the danger faced by the US at that time, are prophetically and sadly accurate as they are today. How the world needs a voice like John Lennon's today. This groove morphs into the show closer, Give Peace a Chance, where Stevie Wonder joins John and Yoko and the band in a rousing conclusion to the show. Discs 2 and Disc 3 provide the almost complete performances from both the afternoon and evening shows. The evening show does, at times, show signs of fatigue vocally by both John and Yoko, which is kind of understandable when you consider the song selections and how exerting they must have been. Well, Mother and Cold Turkey, to name just a few, must have really have tested John's vocals. Nevertheless, the shows are a time capsule of the music and politics of John and Yoko in 1972, and these represent the only full-length concert performances that John staged. Disc 4 features New York City, The Ultimate Mixes, a reimagining of the Sometime in New York City album in nearly its entirety. Mixed and engineered by Paul Hicks and Sam Gannon, these songs have never sounded better. Are they the best songs that John wrote and recorded? No way. Absorbed by their political activism during this chaotic time in the States, they reflect their viewpoint and of those around them as they put roots down in New York City. They haven't, however, sounded any better than they do here, and like all of the other box sets, have allowed us to reevaluate the respective albums, and as far as I'm concerned, have given me a greater understanding and appreciation of the music. New York City is no exception. Despite the controversial themes of some of these songs, I'm able to listen to them despite certain lyrics settling uneasily on my ears. I think I could have listened to that song in a similar way given the opportunity, but I'm going to leave that topic alone from now on, I promise. Overall, the songs impart far more of a sonic punch than I've experienced before. The influence of Phil Spector on the original production with his wall of sound now being lifted to reveal the wider soundscape, and particularly great vocal performances that were wrapped under a blanket on the original LP. Disc 5 is the New York City Evolution documentary. This is what I love most about these box sets. While I love that enhanced sound due to the remixing or remastering, it's hearing the evolution of the songs which interests me most. The musical process, hearing the studio chatter, and understanding John's frame of mind during those times is absolutely compelling. This disc delivers on every level, each song broken down and including demos and outtakes that build to reflect the journey of each song represented here. New York City, the song itself, has John performing a pretty authentic Chuck Berry-inspired homage to start, as it morphs into the more familiar rendition which features on the LP. The other songs too also reveal so much, and this band proves that they could really rock. Disc 6 has the New York City Studio Jam, which was previously unreleased and assembles rock and roll covers and warm-ups in the studio. We know John loved these songs and would use them as the foundation of his studio routine to warm up his vocals and the band as a whole. Highlights include rocking versions of Roll Over Beethoven, Ain't That a Shame, and Hound Dog. And while this is enjoyable listening as it is, the word jam should not be overlooked. These are loose in nature and can hardly be considered worthy of release beyond a box set of this type. The disc closes with 4 element mixes featuring orchestral contributions to Sisters Oh Sisters, Born in a Prison, The Luck of the Irish, and Angela. Nothing revolutionary to see or hear here, I'm afraid. Disc 7 is Live Jan 1, the UNICEF concert from the Lyceum Ballroom in London on December the 15th, 1969, and also features John and Yoko and Frank Zappa and the Mothers at Fillmore East on June the 6th, 1971. All of the tracks are featured elsewhere, but it's good to have them contained here. The performances of Cold Turkey and Don't Worry Kyoko are a hard and harrowing listen, so tread carefully. I must say the performances with Zappa and the Mothers aren't any easier to listen to and have seldom seen the light of day on my turntable. I now remember exactly why this has been the case. It is bloody awful. There were some discussions that the legal wranglings relating to the writing credits of the songs from this performance held up the release of the box set. Quite frankly, how could this ever be described as written material is absolutely beyond me, and good luck to anyone claiming credit for this. They are welcome to it. I think it's shocking. Disc 8, Live Jam 2, compiles a number of performances from 1971 and 1972 from different benefit concerts and TV performances. This is a much more cohesive listening experience featuring the songs that John and Yoko were promoting in support of their political activism. Many of them are unreleased. It's hardly surprising that these travelling political minstrels were scrutinised very carefully by the Nixon administration, who were very wary of this Beatle expanding these smaller performances to a full US tour prior to the next election in the US and sweeping up the youth vote. I do love particularly to hear the guitar accompanied version of Imagine, which is absolutely beautiful. Disc 9, the final disc, showcases home recordings at the St. Regis Hotel in New York and the Campus Inn in Michigan during 1971, most of which are previously unreleased. These intimate noodlings again show John in his happy place, leaning heavily on his rock and roll roots and playing songs that would have featured heavily in Hamburg and in Liverpool in the early days, and would lead to him recording a full set of covers for his rock and roll album over the course of the next few years. One thing I must say about this box set and all the others that have been released by the Lennon estate is that they have provided us with design and production of these packages is absolutely exceptional. Power to the People maintains this very high standard, and the inclusion of replica memorabilia and the accompanying book are superb. The book in particular presents fabulous photos, many exclusive to this set, and a comprehensive narrative covering every aspect of this time period and its significance in the John and Yoko story. For fans like us, the level of detail is mesmerising. What else can you ask for? The CD wallets and the slipcase are beautifully designed and produced too. Top marks again to Sean and the team for what they have delivered. It may be a small thing to some, but the consistency and size of these box sets is very much appreciated by this fan. Sean Lennon has got these box sets absolutely nailed, and I for one can't wait for the next instalment. With so much to assess, it is pretty difficult to assign a score to these box sets. The music itself is not such a compelling mix of songs, but there is a significance to this as a document of the time, and the treatment, as stated, is top-notch. I have to say that after listening to however many versions it is of John Sinclair, my got to count has gone way beyond critical level for human safety. So I will give this a score of 4 out of 5 stars. This is probably way more than I would have assigned to the review of the original album, which may have achieved a score of 2.5 out of 5. I'd be interested to know what you think of the box set, so please make use of the comments box below. The following month or so we'll have a load more to review, so please considering this video a like and subscribing to the channel to stay notified of future content. I wish you all the best. Stay safe, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Until then, it's bye for now.